When you discovered the law of attraction, you started to believe anything was possible. Life got better, much better. Now you want more, but it's not working. That's where the Manifest It Now show comes in. If you've been waiting for someone who can teach you the practical application to manifest quicker and easier while having more, turn the volume up, because the dynamic duo, Cassie Parks and Ginny Gane, are ready to teach you how to live the law of attraction like they do. It's time to laugh and learn.
Hello and welcome back to Manifest It Now. I am here with Cassie Parks.
And I'm here with Ginny Gane.
And we wanted to say hello and share a little bit about what to expect from this upcoming season.
Yeah, we are going to talk about what we're excited about, so you get that, and a little bit about what's coming up and how to go through this season. So, Jen, what are you excited about?
I am excited about this season, what we're doing, and how we're sharing in this new way. And the biggest thing is that having, as listeners, consistently engaging and kind of applying this work in a little bit and seeing and feeling a shift in your life. It's not a really intense thing you're going to be engaged in, but with a little bit of practice and consistent attention, you're going to create huge shifts in your life. I know. What are you excited about, Cass?
I'm excited about the structure that we've created because it still allows us to share with you guys our favorite, like how we're using it, how we applied it, what's happened in our lives. But it's also going to give you like step-by-step guidance. And what we're going to really break down is some law of attraction myths or where people get it wrong, and then tell you how to get it right. And like Jenny said, how to do that practice that's going to make that shift for you.
So exciting.
I know.
There's going to be worksheets, guys, inside the hub. Oh, that is inside the hub. Yes.
Yeah. Worksheets. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So if you want for these episodes, our seasons, if you have access to the hub, you've invested in the paid hub, there will be worksheets for each episode. So you can go back to them after you've listened. If you are a person who wants to listen more than once, you can go and we'll give you worksheets to fill out with some of the exercises that we're giving you. You don't have to do that. That's just one of the bonuses we wanted to make available to you and Ginny loves making worksheets.
Yes, I do.
So it feels good for Jenny and feels good for you guys to create a worksheet that will just give you even more direction, a reminder really, of what we talk about. So that's going to be in the hub. So Jen, do you want to tell them how should they listen to this season?
Yes. I love the idea of treating this season almost like a course that you're taking, right? And so you're going to listen to one episode and then take a week and actually apply what we're talking about. We're going to give you specific action steps and do that work. Apply those ideas in your life for a whole week before you listen to another episode. So it's not just like, okay, I'm going to binge these 13 episodes. It's going to be, okay, I'm going to take 13 weeks and listen and apply and feel the shifts and watch the evidence and all of the good stuff.
Yes. So, she said it. I just want to clarify it. If you miss an episode, right, give yourself that full week to listen to that past episode before you go on to the second one. So if you don't, let's say you don't get around to our episode until Friday, don't listen to the next one that comes out on Sunday until you've given it a week from that Friday episode to really put into practice what we talk about. And it's important to highlight, we want you to leave what we teach you after that week. So don't, we give you what to practice for 7 days. Let's say we tell you to say something for 7 days or pay attention to something for 7 days. After that 7 days, let that go and move on to the next lesson, the next thing that we tell you to do. 13 weeks from now or 13 weeks from next week, when you get to hear these episodes start, we don't want you to have a list of 13 things that you do every day. We actually, 14 weeks from now, if you're listening every week, we don't want you to have a list at the end of that because you will have completed week 13 for a week and then you're going to go out and let inspiration take over.
Yeah, that's the space. This is going to be awesome. Cass and I are holding like such huge space and have intentions, which we're going to talk about, for you to becoming and being more abundant and seeing and feeling and experiencing more money in your life.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Even as Jenny just said, like, intention, I had this amazing inspiration, which I'm going to talk to her about after we stop recording. So it's probably going to get better and better. And we're just so excited for you to join us in this very intentional way to uplevel your abundance on Manifest It Now for the next 13 weeks.
Yes. Awesome. And we just have one more thing for you. Go be awesome! Hello and welcome to this episode of Manifest It Now. I'm here with Cassie Parks.
And I'm here with Ginny Gane.
And we are talking today about making choices around money, as the M is a part of the Manifest It Now way.
Yes. So as we go through, Jenny mentioned in that little teaser last week that these episodes are going to be kind of like a course. And so this course is based on LOA, the Manifest It Now way. So each week there will be a letter because it spells Manifest It Now. Wouldn't you know, that comes out perfectly to 13.
Aren't we so smart, guys?
So we will get into making choices about money and how that ties into manifesting. But first, Jen, what are you excited about?
Well, I have something very special to share with everyone. I'm very excited about what's been happening in my relationship over the past few months. So Lisa has come out as trans, and so she has decided to transition. She's in the middle of transitioning, and she's going to go by Lee now, and with the pronouns him and he. And so it's really exciting for me. I'll tell you more in the behind the scenes episodes that we have inside the hub, but it is so right for me. Like it just feels so good. I feel really excited about everything that's happening. And guys, I'm excited to have a husband. And so it's something I never really obviously thought I saw coming, but it feels so right and so perfect for me as well as obviously him.
Yay.
Yeah. What are you excited about, Cass?
I am excited because last week I helped one of my clients write her first book. I mean, she has a couple of children's books, but her first book that tells her story and will have an impact on other people. And we did it all from her future self in a new sort of inspired creation of how to write a book that I've come up with.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I loved hearing about that.
Yeah, it's so exciting. It was amazing. And when I asked her at the end, I was like, was it easy? She's like, yes. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. Cass, share with everyone what kind of came out as inspiration last week in our little teaser about what we're going to be adding to our abundance course.
Yes.
I'm just calling it an abundance course. Our money season.
Yeah, this is a money season. But it is an abundance course, right? We're talking about money manifesting, but it really is an abundance course. And so makes sense if you're going to, last week we said do each thing for the week. And so if you do that and just that, I'm going to give you an extra opportunity / challenge after I announce this. But so in about, I think we'll give it 15 to 16 weeks, we're going to do an abundance celebration. So when the season is over, we will put up a form on the manifestitnowshow.com page, that hub, which is the free hub, where you can check it out. But we'll put up a form there. You can find that form, complete it, and all you have to do is tell us how you've implemented what we said, like what has shifted, what has changed. And then we're going to invite you to be with us live on a call where we will just celebrate abundance.
Yes. And get to meet you and be with you and spend time and energy and celebration. And it's going to be so fun.
Yes. It's going to be so fun. So I will give you an extra part of this. So if you are not studying with a coach, you've sort of been doing this on your own, which is awesome, or books, I am going to challenge you. This is the same challenge I give when people start Manifest 10K, to put down all the other manifesting stuff that you're doing. Even, if you're meditating to manifest, put that down. If you're meditating because it feels really good, keep that. But put down all of the manifesting stuff that you've been doing and just do these episodes, this course for the next 13, 14 weeks, and see what happens. Because like we said, we're going to give you little bits. It's big stuff, but it's not going to take you a long time. And so if you want to see the power of just that, what a little energy can do versus doing all the things, we'd love to have you put everything else down and just concentrate on manifesting it now, the LOA way, manifesting it now way, for abundance and money.
Yeah, I feel excited when you're talking, Cass, for our listeners to experience the ease of this, like how easy this can be. If that's an intention, like just let it hold that space for yourself for this to be easy.
Yes. So awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's get to it.
All right, let's start. So M in Manifest It Now stands for making choices. In our LOA way. So let's talk about what do people think it means, making choices and manifesting money? Yeah.
I would say generally it means for people to make choices like how to manifest money. Like I have to make choices so I can manifest money, make the right choices around money.
Yes.
Right.
Or I will say what people think is that, oh, I'm supposed to make choices to be abundant, but I don't have the money. So making choices and how to make choices around money really gets in people's way from the start.
Yeah. And almost like it's like about the money. The choices are about the money.
Yes.
Only.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think it means, Cass? Oh, wait. How do you think... Guys, we are following a structure. How do you think that making choices impacts your manifesting success with money?
So I might have jumped the gun a little bit because I think, for our listeners, the way that they think it impacts is kind of what we just talked about. Like, I have to have the money to make an abundant choice. Right? Or they're stuck because they get stuck in this, oh, I can't afford that and I can't make the choice. And so they really get focused on the choices that they can't make.
Right.
Because
the money's not there.
Yes.
Right. Instead of focusing on the choices we can make.
Yeah.
So if I had to kind of define what making choices around money means, it would be a lot about bringing the purposefulness into it, like the consciousness into it, like making a conscious choice, not only about the money or the non-money or the thoughts about money or the feelings about money. It's like everything about money, but doing it on purpose. I think that's a big thing, and we'll tell some stories about it, but how I didn't even think that it was important before. You know, like it was I just did whatever I had learned without actually taking any purpose or intention into it.
Absolutely. And I think that when it comes like this making choices definition is consciously choosing how you invest. If you've been around me for a while, you know that I use the word invest instead of spend. How you invest, save, and interact with your money. So it's really this consciously choosing is about making choices, right? It's not, can I afford this, can I not? It's consciously choosing how you invest, save, and interact with your money.
Yeah. Do you have a story, Cass, about that?
Yeah.
About how you made choices around money?
I do. So
one of a million.
One of a million. This is in my pre-conscious days, and both of our stories are going to be that. So when I wasn't consciously making choices about money, and for me, I was chasing money at this point in my life, and so there was I had watched like HGTV all weekend, and I'm like, oh man, you can make so much money flipping houses. And so I got my sister in, and I'm like, let's flip a house, and she was all in, but you know, I stopped being aware or conscious of the choices we were making. Like so even in the buying of that place, if I was to step back consciously and do that differently now, I would make a different decision. But it wasn't conscious. It was like, oh, we have to get a place so we can flip it. Right. There was one we didn't get. Like, this is the only one in the price. Like, instead of waiting, it was like, oh, this has to be the choice. So it was the lack of choice, right, in that situation.
You like just you had an idea and you just started going with it and then stopped thinking about each choice.
Yes. And then that perpetuated into making choices for things that we put in the house. Right? Like, oh, I really like this, but I didn't consciously make a choice like, oh, does that fit in to alignment of our end goal? Like, does that money out? Like, are we going to bring that in? And so it just was just making choices based on wanting more money, not creating more money.
Oh, it's so powerful. Like, because the place you're doing that from is the lack place, because you're like, want it. Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I used to, I'm not going to tell the whole backstory, but like, I didn't think it was really important. Like money, I wanted to like kind of not care about money. It felt like, you know, hard, and I didn't feel abundant. So I was like, I better just not go there. But years ago when I had just come back from traveling. And so I had just picked up a part-time job. So I didn't have any money, and I'm just working to pay the bills. I'm living at home kind of thing. And I wanted to go, or my mom wanted to go to a health retreat, but it was like $6,000. And I'm like, $6,000, I could live a year off that.
Yes.
But like, I didn't even think about it. Like, I was just like, okay, fine. Yeah, let's do it. Like it was like spontaneous, but not the good kind of spontaneous, like the kind where you don't care. And so like, I was not making a conscious choice about money. The money was just not, it wasn't relevant, which can sometimes be good, but we're going to talk about how the difference, because like it was like a not caring about it versus a like being intentional about spending it even if I didn't have it. So that was one of the choices that there was a lot, it was very obvious I was not choosing with intention or with any sort of purpose. I was just like flying by the seat of my pants. Sure, yeah, that's great. I'm sure it will work out. I actually didn't even think about that. Like there wasn't even any second thought to that. I'm like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not in that inspired way.
Not in an inspired way.
It was in the, I think there's this, I'm going to call it a fluffy belief in LOA, that is how you should make choices, right? So, I just should make the choice and then trust it'll be okay. Right. Right? But when we don't make that from a conscious choice or this conscious alignment, it very often can create things we don't want. Yeah.
There's something of, so yeah, it wasn't coming from, I've spent lots of money that I didn't have from a very conscious place, like knowing how it was important to me, but this was not from that place. Yeah. Yeah. The best words I can come up to say it is like, I didn't care.
Yeah. Which is like, it's not the best place.
No.
Awesome. So in the hub, we are going to put some choices as one of the bonuses. We're going to talk about times that we did spend money very consciously and really how that opened up in some of our favorite stories about how we made conscious choices that really opened up stuff for us. Yeah. But today we only had time to talk about that. And I think it's important to talk about the times when we didn't do it.
Yeah, didn't get it,
quote
unquote, right.
Right. Yeah, we didn't get it right. So I love it. All right. So for you guys, what we want you to think about right now is this opportunities in the past where you could have practiced consciously making money choices. So just right now, think about 3 money choices that you made. Don't judge them. And this can be like the last 3 things you invested money on, or this could be like those big money things that when you think of money, like have some sort of weight to them, right? Just think of 3 times that you spent money,
made choices around
money, or didn't make conscious choices, made a choice, but not a conscious choice around money. And so just let those 3 things come. They might come after this episode. But we really just want you to open up to see that and to not judge it, but to see, like we just talked about the detail. Like there wasn't a judgment. It was like, there's facts in the details of how we are doing things and whether they were conscious or not. So if you can think of a time where you really consciously made a choice with money, that is awesome. Put that in there. And then if you can think of one that maybe it wasn't so conscious, right? That is also impactful. But just thinking about 3 choices that you've made with money is going to start to open up this space to see how we can make more conscious choices about money.
Yeah. And write them down. Make sure to write them down and notice if you're having any judgment about it and see if you can kind of release that or just feel peaceful about it. Because that's when we were talking about the work. It's like write three things down. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's this process of creating space and releasing that judgment around that.
Absolutely.
So how would you say, Cass, people like normally get this wrong when they're starting to get into manifesting money and they're like making choices around money?
Yeah. So one of the things I think they really get wrong is saying, I can't buy something.
I can't afford it.
Can't afford it.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of something like, I'm choosing not to afford that today.
Yes. Or I'm choosing not to prioritize that today. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was hugely empowering when I started to switch that.
Yeah, because I can't afford it is this, like, it's law of attraction. Like, you're just going to create more things you can't afford.
Yeah, and you're going to create, exactly. I was going to say evidence that you can't afford it.
Yeah.
You're going to have an extra bill come in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus that conscious choice. And so I think that definitely gets in the way of people is, and if I had to take that to sort of a higher level, is realizing there's always a choice. Coming back to
Hallelujah.
It's a choice.
There is always a choice.
It's not I can or I can't. It's what you choose.
Yeah.
And so part of making choices that support manifesting is realizing you have choices to make.
Yeah.
And owning that, taking back that power, not saying I can't afford it, but really taking back the power that you have in making choices.
Yes. It's so powerful. And I think sometimes we get caught up in that because we're trying to control the outside thing, whereas your choice comes from, it might only be how you're looking at it. But that's enough, as you guys know, enough of a choice to start to create a different reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other place people get this wrong is they spend before they have it.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'll manifest it. It just kind of goes back to your story too, is like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just spend it and it'll
work out.
It'll work out.
Yeah.
And like, that's not necessarily wrong when you, like, if you look at LOA technically, but it's that energy.
Yeah.
It's that energy, like, I'm going to do something I want without making a conscious choice. And kind of set yourself up to be already in the negative manifesting bank a little bit.
Right. And you're kind of building evidence for that it doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. Hey, when I spent that and it didn't show up. But it's really important of what kind of, if you're making a conscious choice to spend it or not. Because we have we both have tons of stories of spending and with our clients, like spending with the trust that it shows up and it shows up in the perfect exact amounts. But that comes, it's not the don't care attitude. Mm-hmm. It's the conscious knowing attitude. And that comes from just a bit of practice.
Yeah. And the way to practice this is to really practice making conscious choices. We'll get a little more specific in a minute, but it comes from practice, and it comes from becoming more aware and choosing consciously.
Yeah. So give us some examples, Cass, of how we can make some conscious choices.
So, well, first let's have people at this point. I think I want them to talk about a definition.
Yeah, what they think.
Yes. So now that you've heard Jenny and I talk, what do we think a conscious choice is? What's making choices have to do with manifesting? Really take a little bit of time and come up with your own definition. Like, what does making choices mean when it comes to manifesting?
Money for you.
Mm-hmm.
For you.
For
like
you.
This is, and again, not just in your head, like take the 2 minutes and put the consciousness into it and choose and be purposeful about what it means to you, because as you give this your attention and energy, it makes it more easy for you to make those choices. This very simple thing. Yeah.
Yes. Even having the definition of what it means to you is more likely to make you implement it.
Yes.
Because you're clear. And you're clear for yourself. Not just like Jenny said this or Cassie said this, but you're choosing what it means to you.
Yeah.
All right. So ways to... let's wrap up with that. Ways to practice this. One way is we're going to give you guys a statement that we want you to say. One way is you can put a note to yourself.
Cues and triggers are always great for like starting to learn something new. Yeah.
So you could put this on your debit card if you mostly use your debit card, right? So some ways you could do it is you could switch to cash and and get really conscious about seeing that money go out and making choices, you know, or
But you guys know how easy it is to spend on when you're not seeing it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yep, check.
Yep.
I didn't even
Swipe,
look at the
swipe,
total.
swipe, yeah.
Swipe, right? So if you feel like you're swiping instead of consciously choosing on your debit card, you could write something like, are you making a conscious choice?
Yeah. Am I choosing this?
Am I choosing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and just tape it to the front of it so that when you pull it out, it is starting to bring that awareness.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did I just walk into the coffee shop out of habit, or do I want this coffee?
Yeah.
Right? Or what's in my cart at the grocery store? Like, did I buy all this because I intended to, and this is conscious about like the meals I'm making this week? Or did I just
Did I see a 2-for-1 and I'm like, yes, I need that.
Yeah, obviously I need that because it's 2-for-1 right now, right? So it will help you make those conscious choices. And even if you don't, let's use a supermarket example. Even if you look at your basket and you don't like go put anything back because you don't want to, and you're in the line and you're like, oh, I'm not going to get out of line. If you want to, more power to you. But even if you don't get out of line, that awareness of looking and being like, oh, no, that wasn't a conscious choice, will start to bring this awareness and will start to change the way you behave.
Yes, that is enough. Even knowing you're not making conscious choices is a good start.
Yes.
Yeah. And another one I love is if you put the note breathe on your credit card, or open your wallet, or something like that, because then you just take a breath, and that's all it is. It's a moment to become conscious so then you can choose whatever's next.
That just, you know, taking that deep breath, like I want to go a little more. It gives you that space, right?
Yeah.
To not be reacting, but to be choosing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So what's something that people can say, Cass, to kind of really own this and step into this, making conscious choices about money?
I love this. We really put thought and consciousness into this. So I know when I make conscious choices with money, I attract more. It comes easier. So
this is the reality you are creating for yourself with money and your choices.
Yeah. So I'll say it again, and then you can go back and pause this. When it's safe to write it down. I know when I make conscious choices with money, I attract more. It comes easier. So we just want you to say this every day for the next week.
Yeah.
Just once.
Yep. Once a day.
Not 10 times. Doesn't have to
Don't
be
write
100
it.
times.
Yeah. Don't write it 100 times.
Yeah. Just say it once, or rewind, to the last couple minutes of this show and listen and say it with us.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else, Cass, you want to wrap up with?
Just the reminder that there'll be bonus money stories in the hub.
Woohoo! Money stories. All right, guys. Have a great one, and we'll see you next week. Hey guys, we just wanted to pop in here quickly and tell you about this brand new opportunity to get some complimentary live coaching from Cassie and I. We're really excited about it. It is an app called Wisdom, which we will link up in the show notes.
Yeah. And so we are going to go live on January 13th at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 p.m. Mountain. So 3 o'clock Jenny's time, 1 o'clock my time. This complimentary cocktails coaching. You can ask us anything and we'll just have a great time. We'll be on there for an hour. So download the app, mark your calendars, and we'll talk to you then.
Can't wait.
Go be awesome.
Thank you for joining us on the Manifest It Now show, where you learn how to leverage the law of attraction to manifest your dreams. Now that you're inspired, share the love and review us on iTunes. While you're there, remember to subscribe.